So, as a small business, we're always looking to utilize different marketing channels so that we can get the best ROI for our marketing spend. Very important to drive the best results and do so in the most cost-effective way possible. The thing is that there's so many options out there now available at our fingertips, so many different channels, so many different strategies and ways that we can bundle these channels. And it really can be overwhelming. There are actually three main ways that we can group different marketing channels to drive optimum results. And those three main channels are omnichannel, multi-channel, and what's new on the scene is something called omnichannel. But what we're going to really focus on today is omnichannel. But what is the difference between omnichannel and multi-channel marketing? What does it mean? What are we doing differently when we're employing these different marketing strategies? So omnichannel marketing starts with our customer or our prospect, and we're going to be delivering the exact same message over and over again in as many instances as possible to that customer through a multitude of different marketing channels. Multi-channel marketing starts with the company, and we're delivering a different message through a multitude of different channels. So omnichannel marketing is great for branding. If you're a new business and you're trying to create brand awareness, or you really want to drive conversion for whatever that marketing message is, omnichannel is the way to go. Nobody's going to wake up in the morning and say, gosh, I need product A or service B, and I know just where to get it. And I'm going to get it at ABC company that I've never heard of, right? We have to be marketing to our demographic and our prospect audience. And if we're a newer business or we're really trying to drive that conversion, we want to get that messaging in front of them as many times as we possibly can. And we want it to be cyclical, because we want to drive that brand recognition and trigger that familiarity that will create that presence and drive that conversion for whatever that marketing message is. So here's an example of multi-channel marketing. Okay, this is Starbucks. And as you can see, they're utilizing different channels. We know in each of these messages that this is Starbucks, but as you can see, the messaging is very different. The content is different, the text is different, the graphics are different, the imagery is different, the color schematics are different. We still know it's Starbucks, but it is different messaging through all of these different channels. This is an example of multi-channel. On this slide, this is an example of omni-channel marketing. This is for Geico. As we can see on the direct mail piece, through these Google ads, through this billboard, we have everything very cyclical. It has the Geico, which is recognizable, their slogan, the 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. And you can see that that is recommunicated on each of these individual channels over and over again. That is what omni-channel marketing looks like. So why is omni-channel marketing so important? To understand, we have to understand the consumer, what it is that they're experiencing, and also how they're responding. So it might come as quite a surprise, but on average, an individual is seeing around 2,900 marketing messages a day. They're inundated with messaging through billboards, radio, TV, films, digital, email, direct mail, logos on people's t-shirts. We are seeing so many different marketing messages on a daily basis. And that's why it's so important that whatever your marketing message is, you're utilizing channels and an appropriate bundling of those channels so that your messaging is standing out in this whole sea of messages that everybody's seeing on a daily basis. A lot of times a client will want to revamp themselves and change their branding and their logo and all their colors and everything. And in most instances, I do not recommend that, right? You're going to get sick of your branding and your imagery before your target audience does. We want to capture that familiarity in as many instances as we can so that we trigger that response. Another reason for this is what works in marketing is repetition and consistency. It really doesn't matter what channel you're utilizing, whether it's direct mail, digital, email. The key component here is repetition and consistency. In fact, statistically, about 80% of sales, conversions, donations, whatever your call to action or goal may be, actually are occurring between the 8th and the 12th touch. We know that we have to get in front of our target audience in multiple instances to drive that conversion. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Depending upon what that product or service is, or how large the sales cycle is, or what that decision-making process looks like, you may need to get in front of them even more. For example, let's say that I'm receiving messaging for a kitchen renovation, and I've got my eyes set on, spending $50,000 to renovate our kitchen. Well, maybe my husband has entirely different plans for that $50,000. Perhaps he's thinking that we get a new boat. I may need you to get in front of me for the next 6 months so that I can wear him down. And then I need your messaging to be right in front of me, creating this serendipitous moment when I'm ready to convert, that your messaging, not your competitors, is in front of me. And you have followed me with this journey, this marketing journey, and this messaging throughout this whole process up until me making that buying decision. So repetition and consistency is crucial to marketing success. And here on the slide, these are some examples of brands that do really well at utilizing that repetition and consistency. The top one on the left here, 20% off Bed Bath & Beyond. Everybody gets this mail piece. It consistently shows up in your mailbox. It looks the same. The offer is always the same. The color's always the same. You recognize that Bed Bath & Beyond coupon, and you know it's going to show up, and it's repetitive. I could see a Nike check mark with Just Do It, and there's nothing here that says Nike, but I know that it's Nike. I know that that's a BMW signal, right? I know these arches, and I'm loving it, is McDonald's. These brands do a very good job at employing an omnichannel marketing strategy and utilizing repetition and consistency. And you might say to me, well, yeah, that's great, Morgan. We're small business and we don't have the marketing budget of Nike or Bed Bath & Beyond or BMW, but you also don't have the demographic of these large brands either. But the point I'm trying to make is, with the right marketing strategy, the right solution, the right bundling of technologies, you could be the Nike of your demographic. There's a lot of controversy over what is the most effective marketing channel. Me personally, I am a huge advocate of the direct mail marketing channel. I feel that it is hugely overlooked, underutilized, and it is one of the highest yielding response rated marketing channels that you can take advantage of. So at one point in time, there was a huge shift from print or direct mail marketing over to digital. I'm happy to say that shift is over, and it's been over for quite some time, because when marketing professionals look at strategy and what works, it's not necessarily direct mail versus digital. It's utilizing a bundling of these technologies, having them work together in synergy so that we can drive the best results. So no more shift of, hey, what should I use? Should I use print? Should I use digital? Which one's best for me? But very important, don't put all your eggs in one basket, and don't put them all in digital. And a lot of reasons why people will do that is because they feel that it's inexpensive or it's more cost effective to use digital, which, we'll get into a slide here in a few minutes where we'll actually look at some response rates for different channels. And when you see the kind of response rate that you can actually get from direct mail, especially now where we're seeing historical high response rates for direct mail, you'll see that you actually have to do exponentially a lot more digital to achieve the same response as direct mail. But anyway, online and offline, the battle continues. So looking at one online channel, email. Well, I don't know about everybody on the webinar today, but I can tell you for myself personally, when I open my email in the morning, guess what I do? Delete, 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 delete. I go right through them. If I'm not expecting something, if it's not somebody that I'm doing business with on a regular basis and I'm waiting for that 20% off coupon or that offer, it's not getting my attention, right? I'm not even reading the content of the email. Now, email is a good channel It's just a little oversaturated. It's not the best channel for prospecting for new business. It's good for getting messages out to your existing customers, your loyalty customers. And it also pairs very well with direct mail. So, when we're talking about Google and social, costs of CPMs are actually increasing while results are decreasing. So for anybody on our webinar today, CPMs are cost per thousand for impressions. And CPMs for social actually rose 41% in Q2 of 2021. And marketers are having to be spending a lot more money through these digital channels to achieve the same response that they used to achieve. And this is data that was compiled by Sky Data, which is an intelligence agency for marketing trends and how businesses are utilizing their marketing budgets and the type of response that they're getting. And as we can see, the data is in alignment with showing that rise in the digital space, that increase in that spend. As of July 2021, the 5 major social media platforms showed impressive increase in their usage, right? So people are utilizing these channels more. They're trying to drive more engagement through these digital platforms. But the problem is that digital fatigue is real. And, we can kind of thank COVID for that. For quite a long time in space, everybody was so enthralled in the digital space. Everybody was paying so much attention to what was going on in these digital channels and the social platforms and the media and all of the information that was being thrown at them. And there has been a sort of fatigue that has set in the space. Now, that's not to say that it's not still effective, because it is. But what we need to do is employ different tactics where we're utilizing the digital channel to ride along with other effective channels. And, if we want to do something different and really stand out, we need to start showing up in somebody's mailbox instead of their inbox, where we can really drive something that's tangible. We can utilize a tangible direct mail marketing channel, and we can continue that journey or enhance that experience with our online or digital efforts. Just to give you an example, with my emails, like I was saying a minute ago, when I get in there and I'm just delete, I would never be able to tell you what the content of any of those emails that I deleted was. Not one single thing, because I don't open them. When I get my direct mail, I look at every single piece of that mail. Now, it's either going into one of two piles. It's either going into the A pile, which is keep for future reference, take advantage of that offer, talk to Drew about it, or it's going in the B pile, which is the trash can. But before it goes into that trash can, I can assure you that I still look at it. I'm still processing and cognating whatever that message is. Now, let's say, for example, that maybe in that split second, I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested in this, and I toss it, right? Well, maybe you're following up your direct mail marketing with digital, and a few days later, I see a social media ad for the same direct mail piece that I discarded. And I say to myself, you know what, maybe I'm in a different headspace, or I say, maybe this is something that I want to take a look at. But had I never received that direct mail and had that cognitive messaging and processing, that social media messaging may get missed, as I'm scrolling through my feed and blasting by it, right? And so this is just an example of how, when we're utilizing the bundling of these technologies and we're delivering these same messages, we're creating that recognition and that familiarity that's driving that response. So, interest in mail is high, even for a younger demographic. I think for quite some time, there was a misconception that only an age demographic was responding to the direct mail marketing channel. But direct mail actually works for all demographics across the board. 60% of millennials view mail as very important to them, more important to them than they did 3 years ago. And even Gen Xers are responding very heavily to direct mail. But that can also go both ways, because I also hear a lot that our clients feel that an age demographic is not in the digital space, but they are. In fact, even more than they were before. And we can actually thank COVID for that also, because they didn't have these opportunities to have these in-person visits with their families, and they were becoming more active on social channels so that they could see photos and feel engaged and connected with their family members and friends when they didn't have that opportunity to do so before. In fact, another online channel that it's actually something called informed delivery, and it's provided by the United States Postal Service. I don't know if anybody on the webinar today is signed up for it, but everybody signed up for this informed delivery service. In the morning, you get this email or a mobile notification that when you open it, it shows you all of the mail that's going to be in your mailbox at the end of the day. So this is an opportunity, again, for you to enhance your direct mail, get an online impression, give someone an opportunity to respond to the direct mail digitally. But what I see is grayscale images, so scans of the direct mail piece, and then they embed a full color clickable ad right underneath that I can click on and respond. Now, this seems like a high-tech, cutting-edge thing, right? Well, the highest number of user audiences for the informed delivery platform is actually 65 plus. So you do have these opportunities to reach a younger demographic through a direct mail marketing channel, and you have these opportunities to reach an age demographic through these digital channels also. So a little bit about more about direct mail. 66% of direct mail is opened. 82% of direct mail is read for a minute or more, and this goes in alignment with my example, my personal experience just a minute ago. I'm going to look at everything that I receive or that I get in my mailbox. 56% of consumers who responded to direct mail actually went online or visited a physical store. And 62% of consumers who responded to direct mail made a purchase within 3 months. That's strong. That's strong statistical data. This is something that we want to be incorporating into our marketing strategy. So a little bit about the different channels and the response rates. So clients will track the trends. They'll see that we're getting historically high response rates to direct mail, and they become inquisitive about cost, and they might have a perception that the direct mail marketing channel is more expensive than digital. Well, when you look at the response rates that you get from direct mail as opposed to the response rate that you're achieving from digital, you can see that you have to do exponentially more digital to achieve the same response as you would by utilizing the direct mail marketing channel. So it's not really more expensive when you're looking at the response rate that you're getting from these channels. We have to educate ourselves on that. Using the direct mail marketing channel in today's remote world, very important, right? So many people are working from home. If you're in the B2B space, you don't want to be sending direct mail to somebody's office. You want to reach them where they're at. Even with people that aren't working from home and they are working in their office, there's actually technology out there where you can identify who these decision makers are. Like if I need something for our business and I go to your website, you can identify who I am, get a 95% accurate residential address for me, and you can actually send me a good offer on a direct mail piece to my home. Get in front of me so that I convert with you, as opposed to those 4 or 5 other competitors of yours whose websites I visited after yours. You don't have to worry about making it past my receptionist or office manager's desk. You're reaching me where you're going to find me and giving me an opportunity to convert and engage in business with you. Very effective tactic. And we always want to be following these trends and looking at what major industries are doing. Whatever's working for them is also going to work for us. They're paying big bucks and investing tons of money in these different channels to see what is working, what's not working. So let's let them do the heavy lifting and let's mimic what these industries are doing. marketing budgets are increasing. They're spending more money on marketing. We know we have to market if we want to achieve our revenue goals. But outside of that, their direct mail spend has been up year over year, 191%. They're paying attention to the kind of response rate that they're getting. But they're not just sending out direct mail. They know that omnichannel is where it's at. They know that they are going to get higher ROI from the spend for direct mail if they're integrating digital into their direct mail marketing. So, what would convince these companies to use more print? They want unique programs that are integrating digital specifically into their direct mail. Why? Because that's what drives results. That's how they're going to get the highest ROI on their marketing spend. In fact, marketers that are using 4 to 6 channels are actually getting the best response rates. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket. We want to reach our prospects and our customers through as many channels as we possibly can. We want to be right in front of them when they're ready to make that buying decision. We want to ensure that we give them numerous opportunities to convert and engage in business with us, and do so through their preferred channel, right? Maybe they want to respond to email. Maybe they want to respond through social. Maybe they like to travel to your website, which 90% of people do, right? And when we look at the most effective channels for reaching targeted audiences, direct mail is up there with 82%. So it's definitely something that we should be incorporating into our marketing strategy. So I don't know, you guys might have heard of this company. It's a little company called Google. They do a little bit of marketing, but they just released a new product in October of 2021. And actually that product's focus was finding easier ways for businesses to show the local services that they offer. And they've actually doubled their profits through the utilization of an omni-channel marketing strategy, because we want to go with demand. There's a high demand for omni-channel because this is what's working. And when it comes to small business, they've been able to achieve the highest response when they're employing an omni-channel strategy through the utilization of their channel. So again, it's not online versus offline or direct mail versus digital, but where we're going to get the best results is where we are utilizing the coupling of a multitude of channels to drive the same messaging and branding in front of our target audience. So, a good example of this, I'm utilizing the direct mail marketing channel. Well, why don't we start serving up messaging to your target audience prior to them getting the direct mail? Start warming them up to that messaging or that direct mail piece they're about to receive, so they're more likely to respond when they get that. And then let's continue that journey for several days. I would recommend even 30 days after, maybe longer, depending upon that cycle like we were talking about, so that we give them all of those opportunities to convert. And omnichannel is not something that is just successful for certain industries or certain verticals, because I get asked that question all the time. Does this work for my industry? Does this work for my vertical? What industries are you seeing the most success in? This is going to work no matter what vertical, no matter what industry you're in. If the direct mail marketing channel is working for you, integrating digital into that direct mail channel is definitely going to get you better results, right? We know that repetition and consistency is what drives success. The more impressions you can get in front of your target audience, the more response you're going to get from your marketing. So this isn't something that's industry specific or that only works for certain verticals. So think about this for a second. MIT did a study, and they showed that 90% of people, when they respond to marketing, are going to go online, right? And I don't really need a study to know that that's how people respond to marketing, because that's how I respond to marketing. If I get a direct mail piece, I see a billboard, I hear something on the radio, I see something on social, a friend tells me about this product or service or this business that they just engaged with that I've got to check out, guess what I'm going to do? I am going to Google them and go to their website. That is how people respond to marketing, which is fantastic. It means that our marketing is working. The thing is, though, is that 96% of those people that respond and go to our site, according to Google Analytics, leave without converting. We're only getting about 4% conversion on our marketing right off the rip. So we need a strategy where we can re-engage the people that responded to our marketing so we can drive them back to our site and drive that ROI on our marketing. And Omnichannel is a great way to do that. Most businesses that I engage with, they know their product, they know their price, but what we help them do is appropriately promote it and place it in front of the right people at the right place at the right time in as many instances as possible. And that is what omnichannel marketing is all about. So, omnichannel, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We really dive into the marketing strategy and all the nuances that it's going to take to really drive an effective and high yielding response rating marketing channel. And one of those key things that we want to employ is personalization, right? So people want to feel important. We don't want to send them out a direct mail piece that says current resident, right? People want to be called by name. They want to be marketed to about past or previous purchases. They want to feel important. I love to be marketed to about things that are relevant to me, right? Like, absolutely, I want to get that 20% off coupon for, whatever that pair of shoes or, maybe that thing that our business really needs. I want that. Absolutely. I want to get what I need or what I want, and I want to get it as cost effectively as possible. If I'm researching something or I'm interested in something, I absolutely want to be remarketed to about it, because I want to know that this business cares about my past or previous search or browsing history, and that it's important to them that I engage or that I get the best deal. So personalization is huge. And technology in print is really amazing. With variable data, we can actually customize each individual mail piece that goes out on very large runs to be personalized to each individual direct mail recipient. It's really remarkable. The data backs it up. People want to be marketed to about things that are personalized and relevant to them. 80% of consumers are more likely to do business with a company that offers a personalized experience. And I'm going to be more likely to exchange my contact information or convert and give you my information so you can follow up with me based on product recommendations or some type of content that I feel is valuable. And 52% of people agree with that. 78% are only going to engage in a company that's offering a personalized experience, right? And why is that? Well, we're seeing over 2,900 marketing messages a day. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to get my attention? We've got to move towards personalization, right? So staying ahead of the curve. I talked a little bit about some of the really neat technologies out there where we can actually identify unique website visitors. So 65% of marketing is who you're marketing to. And if you're utilizing the direct mail marketing channel, the first thing that you need is a rock solid list. People that are interested in your products and services, people that are very likely to respond to your direct mail marketing. And we're experts in this space. We can acquire lists of people that are sure to get a very high response rate when we send them direct mail. But you can really up the ante and utilize some very sophisticated technology to know who specifically is actually interested in your products and services right now. You can put a pixel on your website. When someone goes to your website, you can get a 95% accurate contact information for them, a residential address. You can find out specifically what pages on your site they visited, so you know exactly what they're interested in. If you're an insurance company and you see they went to the car insurance page, you know that they're interested in car insurance. Personalize your direct mail. Market to them about obtaining a free quote for car insurance. And you also know how interested they are because you can see how much time they spent on these pages. And once we pull down these 95% accurate residential addresses, we can append over 3,200 different data points. Do you want to know their average income information? Do you want to know what kind of vehicles they have in their household? Do you want to know if they own a single family home, if there's pets in the household? There's so much personalization and additional data that we can add to this. So you can pre-qualify these website visitors prior to mailing them and further increasing your ROI on your marketing spend because you're marketing to the right people, and we get about a 9 to an 18% response rate when we mail to these website visitors. And it's not surprising because it really is the silver bullet in marketing. We're marketing to the right people at the right place at the right time. And then when you add digital integration or you integrate digital technologies onto that direct mail, you can get an even higher response rate than the 9 to 18%, and get an additional 23 to 46% lift over what you would achieve from just the standalone direct mail response rate. The other remarkable thing about this too is that you're not just building a mailing list. You're also helping increase the return on investment for all of your marketing channels across the board. Because whenever someone responds to your marketing, no matter what channel that is, email, digital, billboard, radio, direct mail, they are all going online. Remember that 96% of people that left? Well, now we can identify who they are and we can send them a direct mail piece with a really good offer to bring them back to the site and drive them over into converting. That's increasing the return on investment for all of your marketing across the board. And that is a really good thing. I love to see case studies. I just want to kind of go through a few omni-channel campaigns, few different industries, show you the type of response that we've been able to achieve from an omni-channel marketing solution. And this is where we are sending out direct mail campaigns, and we are enhancing those direct mail campaigns with digital marketing technologies. And then I'll also show you a couple from the direct mail retargeting. So this is an education campaign. It is clear as day that this is an omni-channel approach, right? The imagery, the graphic, it all is the same. When you get that direct mail piece and you see that follow-up messaging on social, this is going to be recognized. This is a true omni-channel campaign here. So this was education. And after they did a test campaign first, after that test campaign, they got such good results. They decided to send out 150,000 mail pieces. They got 453 enrollments. So they spent about 200,000 on direct mail, and they got about a $2.9 million dollar amount in revenue. So that's pretty strong. They were very happy with that. And that was just their first year revenue too. Because when we're thinking about the response to our marketing, we have to look at the lifetime value of whatever that conversion is, right? So someone enrolls in a school and, this is your first year revenue, but how many years do they attend that school? If they attend for 4 years, now maybe your revenue off of that cycle isn't just 2.9 million. Maybe you're looking at your revenue now is actually 12 million from that marketing spend if you get 4 years out of it. So this is an entertainment campaign. And again, we can see that omni-channel approach here. And they actually got, so with this technology where we identify unique website visitors, we don't ever identify 100% of web traffic. So just with the amount of web traffic that we were able to identify, they got an 18.73% response rate to the direct mail. That is incredible. That is incredible. So mailing 4,975 pieces and they added omni-channel marketing onto it and got an 18.73% response rate to their direct mail. And that's not even 100% of web traffic. There could be even more people that were on that mailing list that went to the website, but we just didn't identify them. So super incredible results. Real estate investors. So I don't know if we have anybody in the real estate industry on the webinar today. They had a pretty neat offer here where at closing, they were offering a complimentary vacation that was about a $1,800 value. They got 20 deals under contract. That is amazing, especially in this space with how competitive everything is right now. I mean, real estate is just kind of insane. I'm also a licensed real estate agent, so I've been understanding the pains that are going on in that industry right now. But almost a 7,000% ROI is what they got on their marketing spend just by employing an omni-channel strategy to their direct mail. That's strong. Financial and bank, $200. I can't tell you how many checking accounts I have from taking advantage of these $200. Hey, $200 is $200. If I've got to split my paycheck up 5 ways, I'll do it, right? But as you can see, everything is very cyclical and omni-channel. They actually did a control test. So they mailed 157,000 pieces with omnichannel or Amplify and 53,000 without. They saw a 33.2% higher lift in conversions with the mailing that went out with the omnichannel. So after that, they have still been utilizing omnichannel, and I'm sure we can see why. This is great for financial and even auto refinance. This industry is kind of struggling right now with inventory. So I don't know if anybody on the webinar today is in auto, but this is a really great way to drive an increase in response to their direct mail marketing channel where we're driving for financing or to bring people into our service centers to compensate for the fact that we're not getting people on our lots. But other thing is that we want to know that we're marketing to the right people that are actually interested in getting a vehicle right now or getting financing. And they were able to capture 1,505 leads off of their website from utilizing this technology. Medical and urgent care, again, omni-channel approach here. And they saw a 26% lift when utilizing omnichannel on their mailings over the mailings that they ran previously without omnichannel. So again, much stronger response. This is super cute here. This was a church, a nonprofit, think outside the box office. They've got the little popcorn, but you're definitely going to recognize this, the cute little slogan and the imagery. But they got such a high response rate from their mailings. This is really great for a nonprofit. They now attach Amplify onto all of their mailings. And the other thing for a nonprofit is our ability to need to always be adding new people to our donor list or who we're soliciting a donation from. We're typically marketing to past or previous donors. Those lists become saturated, and utilizing this special technology where we can identify people that are actually on the ways to give page, ways to get involved. These are all people that we can be incorporated into our mailing list and be asking them for a monetary donation through our appeal. You know, and this is a great way to be asking the right people, the people that actually care about our cause, our organization, and they want to help contribute to our efforts. So with that special technology also where we're identifying the unique website visitor and we're sending out direct mail to them. This is a company called BlendJet, and they use a portable blender. And I'm sure a lot of people on the webinar today can identify with this experience. It actually happens to me all the time for a lot of different things. So I see some kind of marketing. I go to the website. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to buy this right away. I add it to cart. And then I think, I don't really need this right now, do I? And I go to leave and something will pop up and it will say, wait, 10% off if you buy now. So their little advertisement that pops up is 10% off. And I'll usually be like, that's not that good, right? And I leave. Well, a couple days later, they send you a direct mail piece with 15% off, right? And so it's a much better offer, drives people back to the website, and actually drives that conversion. And they achieved a 15.14% response from direct mail retargeting, and they actually got a 12.83% conversion rate from return visitors from utilizing this technology. This was a higher education institution that used this direct mail retargeting, and they actually got a 25% response rate when they pulled down those website visitors and mailed to them. That is incredible, especially considering it's higher ed. We're not talking about a pair of shoes here. Each of these cycles is thousands of dollars. For them to be able to drive a response rate like 25% for higher ed is really proof in the pudding that this kind of technology works. And, it makes sense. We're marketing to the right people at the right time and at the right place. So, again, repetition and consistency, so important. Marketing is not a sprint. It is a long game. It is a marathon, and we need to consistently and repeatedly be utilizing these channels. This is just some examples of the type of ad displays and how results build over time when we're utilizing Omnichannel. And this was a nonprofit. And, at first, they didn't get a huge response with their first mailing. In fact, I think it was something really small, like around 5% increase. But by mailing two, they had 100% increase over a year prior. And by the third mailing, again, they had 100% increase over a year prior. So very happy with the results of Omnichannel and what that did for the increase in the donations they received from their appeal mailing. So, how can we get a 23 to 46% lift in response over just a standalone direct mail channel? How do we know who's coming to our website? Do we want to be able to utilize an omni-channel strategy or add it onto a direct mail campaign? And believe it or not, with some of the technology that's out there, you can do so inexpensively or for just a few pennies per mail piece. And here at Bluegrass, we actually offer a product called Amplify. It is an omni-channel marketing solution. We integrate somewhere between 7 to 11 technologies into your direct mail for just a few pennies per mail piece. We've achieved anywhere from 23 to 46% lift over a traditional standalone direct mail campaign. We've been able to identify unique website visitors for our clients and be able to retarget them with direct mail so that we can get them a really high response. And the other really neat thing about this product too is that we also have a dashboard, and tracking and marketing is super important. So you can log into your dashboard and track with all these technologies and all of your marketing. You can see when your mail is going to be in home. You can see how many impressions you're getting, what your engagement rate is, how many people on your website we've been able to identify, what pages they've been visiting, just so much information and data with reports that you can export. And so we've made Omnichannel simple in one bundled product that's easy to deploy and very inexpensive, which our clients like, and it drives really good results. So that is all that I've got today. If anybody's interested in learning more about Omnichannel marketing, or Amplify, we're happy to have a consult or just be a resource. We would love to learn more about your business's goals and what you're trying to accomplish, and help you put together a marketing strategy that works specifically for your business's needs and, of course, your marketing budget.